This week, as parents across the country protest cruel, scientifically illiterate mask mandates for kids, Biden's hapless Education Secretary Miguel Cardona threatened school closures in response, and Biden himself weighed in against kids, against parents, and against science. In Rhode Island, the teachers' union is suing a parent for the crime of trying to find out exactly what kind of woke poison the schools are spewing into the minds of her children. All while the unions once again hold America's children hostage with threats to close schools unless their preposterous pandemic demands are met. What does all this show? That the people who should have the power when it comes to education, parents, have had it taken away by an unholy alliance of the teachers' unions and the education bureaucracy. From the start of this pandemic, the teachers' unions knew the virus barely affected children, yet they exploited it for their own political and personal benefit, closing schools in America while countries around the world opened theirs up, in some cases barely closing at all. Political demands like wealth taxes, charter school bans, Medicare for all, the evil push for hateful, divisive brainwashing, dangerous race-baiting ideologue Ibram X. Kendi headlining their conference, the leaders of the two biggest teachers' unions proudly defending racism and woke indoctrination. The teachers' unions are the biggest opportunity crushers in America, sacrificing educational standards and student achievement for political dogma that dumbs everything down, all while demanding more money, less work, lavish pensions. In California, getting $5,000 bonuses, 7% salary bumps and retroactive pay raises just for showing up. How are the teachers' unions, obviously America's public enemy number one, winning like this? Corruption is a big part of it. For years, the unions have bribed and bribed and bribed again. New York State United, over $13 million to Democrats. In California, over $14 million. At the national level, over $60 million to Democrats. And what has America got in exchange? As even a liberal columnist in the New York Times points out, Greeks have higher high school graduation rates. 15-year-olds in Russia, Poland, Latvia, and many other countries are better at math than their American counterparts. 1/5 of American 15-year-olds can't read at the level expected of a 10-year-old. The performance of the union-run public school system has been a complete catastrophe. And of course, hardest hit are the communities that Democrats and the teacher unions claim they care about. A new report found Native American third graders performed 14% lower in math this year compared to 2019. Black students 15 points lower, Latino students 17 points lower. In majority black Baltimore, close to half the kids got a GPA of below 1.0. In California public schools, there's the equivalent of a 4-year achievement gap between black and white 8th grade students. But bad as the teachers' unions are, they're not the only reason for this monumental and humiliating failure to properly educate our children. In every state and local area, public school bureaucracies are in charge of the system, presiding over this national disaster. In Baltimore, they have an Achievement and Accountability Office. In Baltimore, where kids are in the public school system for a decade and nearly half of them barely get any education at all. But every single bureaucrat in the Achievement and Accountability Office gets over $100,000 a year. So, when the Democrats blame Republicans, blame racism, blame anyone but themselves for the poverty, the inequality, the racial injustice that is all too common in the exact places they run, we say, no, it's not racism, it's not Republicans, it's you, the useless, incompetent, ideological, unaccountable education bureaucrats paying yourselves a fortune from public money. You're the ones destroying the lives of some of the least advantaged kids in America. In California, Superintendent Michael Lynn of Corona Norco Unified paid nearly $500,000 when less than half the kids are even proficient in math. In red states too, as we showed you last week with the Mississippi Fat Cats report, local school bureaucrats on massive salaries, totally unrelated to performance. On and on it goes. Bloated bureaucracies taking our money, failing our children. The entire educational establishment has failed, every single part of it. Colleges too, where they incubate appalling teaching theories like a virus sent to infect generation after generation of children. This is the systemic racism, Kamala Harris. This is the structural change we need, Elizabeth Warren. For years we've stood by, watching the public school system crumble. Endless, top-down, centralizing reform, from Bush's No Child Left Behind to Obama's race to the top. But it's the system that's broken. There's no point reforming it. You don't reform a rotten building, you tear it down and build a new one. Some say charter schools are the answer. And yes, since the first one was established in St. Paul, Minnesota in 1992, they have proved their worth. Ohio charter school students gain between 35 and 40 extra days of learning. In Seattle, it's nearly 60 days more learning. Students from LA charter schools much more likely to be eligible for state universities than their peers in union-run schools. Charter schools create ladders of opportunity for Black and Latino kids. We've seen that in Maryland, in Newark, New Jersey, right across the country, in New York City, even when the charter school classes are in the same buildings as public schools, they did better. Charter schools work because they're independent of the education bureaucracy and free from the low expectation, low achievement, lowest common denominator, woke madness of the public school system. And most of their teachers aren't unionized. So, of course, Democrats and their teacher union paymasters hate them. Just the other week, Pelosi's House voting to cut $40 million from the federal charter schools program. For once, a spending cut they like. In New York, Democrat politicians blocking charter school expansion even when Democrat residents support it. California Governor Gavin Newsom also supported charter schools once. Then he decided he had to suck up to the teachers' unions to get elected. So, in his 2018 campaign, he pledged to close charters down, and once in office gave districts more power to block them. In exchange, millions more dollars from the unions. Of course, none of this affects him. He sends his kids to private school, just like so many leading Democrats who know how bad the public school system is. How disgusting that these Democrats deny parents the exact same choice they deny everyone else's parents. How sickening that they attack the very schools that help the people they claim to speak for the most. Republicans, by contrast, are pushing forward with school choice, prompted by parent frustration over pandemic closures. Just in the last few months, we've seen positive moves in Iowa, Arizona, Arkansas, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, and New Hampshire, all created education savings accounts that can be used to pay for private school tuition and give parents more choice. But here's the truth. It's not enough. Even if all this was enacted, only a small fraction of America's children would have access to these opportunities. The vast majority would be stuck in the public school system at the mercy of the teacher unions and the education bureaucracy. And it's only going to get worse. The union's power is growing, not shrinking. They now have a member in the White House, as Biden disgracefully boasted. Each year, more teachers pour out of colleges and training institutions infected with wokeism, armed to indoctrinate more and more children. What are we doing? Fiddling around with piecemeal reform, a charter school here, some footling advance of school choice there. The entire system is rotten. It's dragging America down economically as our better educated competitors leave us in the dust. It's ripping us apart socially as the anti-America brainwashing takes a deeper and deeper hold. It is the biggest threat we face, and we're running away from it instead of confronting it. Enough! We know what works, and we can see what doesn't. It is time for real choice in education, real power in parents' hands, real reform, not reform in name only. It is time to end the public school monopoly. All the money, the entire school's budget, should be returned to parents on an equal basis to spend on the education they think is best for their child. Some kids will thrive in larger schools, others in smaller ones. Some in a traditional academic environment, others in something more creative. Thanks to the pandemic, there's been an explosion of innovation and entrepreneurial energy. Micro schools, parent-run schools, a host of new options. Imagine how much more there would be if education innovators knew they had every parent in America as a potential customer. And if we do this, if we fund students, not systems, we can finally shut down the disastrous, destructive education establishment and the local school bureaucracies. This is not a pipe dream. With any luck, and certainly with the support of this show, It could even be on the ballot next year in my home state, thanks to the California School Choice Foundation. Let's make this a litmus test for every Republican running for office. Close down the school districts, fire the bureaucrats, abolish it all. No more mediocrity, no more critical race theory, no more nonsense from the teacher unions, the educational establishment, and its overpaid, underperforming bureaucrats. Power to parents, opportunity for kids, success for America. That's the next education revolution we need.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.